Hey y'all, it's Andy. He, him pronouns. I just also want to share that I'm presenting this on Duwamish and Puget Sound Salish land. So a little bit about me. I'm a scramble leader, been with the group since 2014 and been leading trips and hope to get out with y'all this summer. But before that, let me tell you my first trip in Washington. I hiked up to Mount Si with just a backpack filled with a sandwich, a water bladder, and a hat. I was wearing a cotton shirt and jean pants and tennis shoes, and I was fine. I got back down safely, but I just want to share if what happened if I sprained my ankle or got lost. Would have been a different story if I didn't start so early. So I don't want to shame y'all if this is how you're currently hiking in Washington, but I wanted to present the 10 essentials so that y'all can be better prepared for our trips and for emergencies. So the Mountaineers, the 10 essentials, are divided into two groups. The first set is to prevent emergencies and respond positively should one occur. So that's navigation, headlamp, sun protection, first aid, knife. And the second group of essentials are to help you spend a night, safely spend a night outside. Hopefully it's just one night. And that's fire, shelter, extra food, extra water, and extra clothes. So let's start with navigation. The first thing you want to have is a map and compass. That's the minimum. You could add an altimeter, a GPS app, a PLB, an extra battery, and battery pack. Then you want to carry a headlamp with extra batteries. And next, sun protection. So that includes sunglasses, sun protective clothing, and sunscreen. You can see here the bottom picture. I have this hoodie that zips all the way up to my face, so only very little skin showing. And the top right picture, it's maybe hard to see, but my face is pretty white from sunscreen. And it's always important on these snow fields to wear sunglasses because you don't want to get snow blind, okay? The sun's rays, if it's a really sunny day, it reflects off the snow surface. And okay, first aid. So there's a ton of commercially available first aid kits, or you can make your own if you know how to. Also, it's very important to know how to use all the gear that you bring your first aid kit. Otherwise, it's no use to you. Always, if you want to carry something for sprains, and definitely in the summer, carry some insect repellent. When I say knife, I mean also repair kit. Think about that. Consider using a multi-tool, strong tape, cable ties, buckles for your backpack. The buckles break, cordage to lash things together, needle and thread, if not for your skin, but for your clothing if you rip it on something. And extra piece for snowshoes and skis if you use that while scrambling. Fire, I recommend bringing lighter. Since the Pacific Northwest is pretty wet, you might want to consider tinder. And tinder could be, there's a lot of videos online for different types of tinder. You could have cotton swabs and rubbed in Vaseline and put that in a pill bottle. And for the winter, maybe consider bringing a stove and fuel. And so now these are the essentials that you need for to spend night outside safely. So shelter, I recommend bringing an emergency bivvy. It's pretty lightweight. Maybe you want to consider carrying a lightweight tent. At a minimum, construction trash bag, those black heavy duty plastic bags. And I would say I recommend avoiding emergency space blankets because they're pretty thin and they don't provide much shelter. Here's a example of my shelter in use. The left picture shows I had to dig an emergency hole in the snow. I got into my bivvy with all the clothes I had, and I shoved my feet into my backpack. Or in the summertime, I was climbing the northeast buttress of Good, and we didn't summit, so I was forced to sleep on a summit ledge nearby, and I got put on all my clothes and just got in there and spent the night on a ledge. Extra food. For a 1 day, bring a 1 day supply for short trips. So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Something that requires no cooking, and it's easily digestible and stores well for long periods. Typically, for a day trip, I would bring 2 extra Cliff Bars, something that can get me through the night and hopefully out the next morning. Otherwise, for like a 3-day trip, I bring 4 days supply of food, but something that's very calorie dense. Extra water. At a minimum, everybody should carry 1 water bottle, hydration bag or bladder. Some people like to use water tablets. I would recommend bringing a wide mouth bottle because it's easy to refill. In the wintertime, or just for colder environments, I would bring a stove, fuel, hot and lighter to melt snow. And typically you want to travel with 1.5 to 3 liters per day, depending on your body. Extra clothes. Here's a picture of me after I summited Rainier and back at base camp. You can see that I have all my clothes on, a hard shell, and my puffy jacket. So bring enough layers to survive the night. You should remember that it's going to be long, inactive hours of just unplanned bivouac. I would toss in long underwear, extra hat or balaclava, heavy sock, mittens. They work better than gloves, in my opinion. And for cold environments, I would recommend covering your torso because it keeps your core warm, and then that's what your body's trying to do. And especially for the Pacific Northwest, bring extra rain gear. I know I went through this quickly. I have some packing tips, and then after this, I'm going to go over to what I bring on my trips. So since it's a lot to remember, make a list before you pack. And it's just easy. You can just read a list and then check it off and then know that it's there. Another helpful tip is to keep all the tent essentials in its own separate bag or bags so that you can just grab it off the shelf and just toss in your backpack without even thinking about what you need to put in there. The tent essentials will vary for the amount of risk you want to take, the season, and the group size. Sometimes you guys can share gear and you don't have to carry all of it. Use what you have available. And what I mean by that is if you don't have to go out to REI this weekend and buy all new gear. Just use what you have available and then slowly supplement your tent essentials to make sure that you have all of it. But for every field trip, we will check your tent essentials and quiz you on your tent essentials. And we might provide some tips to see if that's appropriate or not. Realize that they don't take too much room, and do not underestimate any items. Especially if you think that it's going to be a short day trip. I don't need to carry a headlamp. Don't do it. Just carry a headlamp. I'll show you what I have. So remember, so this is the first group is to prevent emergencies and respond well. So I have navigation, have my compass, always carry a paper map, and you'll discuss this more in navigation course. Make sure that it has readable contours and all the information that you need to navigate. I carry Garmin InReach Mini that I clip onto myself, and I have a subscription to it. And I use my phone for navigation as well. I upload a GPS track and reference that and paper map if I ever get turned around. Headlamp, pretty self-explanatory. Okay, that, and always extra batteries. Sun protection. I carry sunscreen in a pill bottle too, so I don't have to carry the whole tube, and I can see how much, where it's at. So I have about that much left. Chapstick. Sunglasses. Mine have side shields for whenever I'm on some snow field, so it protects the rays from my nose. Oh yeah, also, when you're on a snow field, I don't know about you, but sometimes I like to apply sunscreen in my nostrils and make sure you get the underside, because once it bounces up, you can burn in those. I haven't had that experience before. I've had plenty of burnt lips. In the wintertime, if it's blowing out there and snow's blowing, I always bring goggles that I could wear. Okay. Next is first aid. So here's my first aid kit. Very light, has all the stuff in here. You'll cover this over in your first aid course. Next, I have knife. Here's my multi-tool. I got my knife there. Okay. Also, I have a roll of duct tape that I just applied on itself, and it's, I have a tab, so if I want to pull a certain length, ready to go, okay? Next, ski strap. When I said cordage, this could, it's pretty strong strap, will bind things together, and it's just pretty handy to have. Let's see, what else? Fire. Okay, there you go. Try to carry maybe 1 or 2 lighters. They're pretty lightweight. In the wintertime, this is what I carry on all my trips. You got MSR wind burner, I believe. Got fuel. Stove. Hot. That's how it goes. Shelter. So this is a REI bivy sack. It's about 1 pound, pretty lightweight, compressible. Go in my backpack. I also have a Tyvek sheet that I can use to sit on top of or put above me, strap above me, and keep myself dry. Next, we have extra food. Like I said earlier, 2 bars. Just plan for the trip duration, okay? And then we have water. So I carry a pump. I don't like to carry the Sawyer bags, but that's up to you. I don't have good experiences with it because it always gets plugged. This one, you know, here I dump this end in the source, pump it out, And this goes directly into my Nalgene, just like that. Another thing, if you're in the wintertime, if you're running low on water, you still have water left in here, grab a handful of snow, pack it in here, shake it up. There, you have water to drink. Clothes. Oh, thanks. So, extra clothes. Got my beanie. Lightweight down jacket. Pretty packable. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. And then what else we got in here? Rain shell pants. Very lightweight, also very compressible. And rain jacket. All right, y'all. Okay, let's see. Let's pack everything in. I have my 32-liter snow backpack. Why is it my snow backpack? Because it has my avalanche gear as well, but that's not part of the 10 essentials. So we're gonna put here, let's start off with my navigation again. So compass, my PLB is in here, and I'll carry my map on me. So that goes. Then we have headlamp. So in here I have headlamp, sun protection, my first aid, and my knife, all in this package. So headlamp is here. Okay. So that goes in one small package. Okay. Next is fire. Fire is also in there. But then wintertime, carry this as well. Shelter. And extra food. I'll toss that in there. Water. And then if it's summertime, I'll add my pump. And Nalgene. And clothes. What's that? There you go. All packed and ready to go scrambling. And one more thing this year that we'll add to the list. Face covering and hand sanitizer. All right. Thanks for paying attention, and I hope to meet y'all soon.